and things start to sing. Now you will have to figure out how to play these things in the higher octaves. Maybe here, or maybe... If your solos doesn't sound quite like jazz, there is a couple of things that you can do to, once and for all, start sounding like your heroes. Maybe you have this problem of learning tons of scales and arpeggios, trying to connect them over a form, which is a great exercise to keep our mind in shape, also our ear in shape. But after all, this is not soloing, this is not improvisation. So what can we do to avoid falling into this trap? Today I'm going to talk to you about embellishments, which are a very common practice among musicians of all styles, and you will see little nuances in the phrasing that belongs particularly to that style, and when you hear these little ways of playing certain scales and using just diatonic material, you rapidly check that style and say, oh yeah, that's Baroque, or not, this is from the 19th century, because the guys play this type of... The question is, do we have something in jazz very similar to this type of phrasing? The good news is that yes, and today I'm going to show you how you can start from this type of sounding and end up doing this. So stay with me and learn more about outlines and articulation and embellishment with diatonic materials. Let's start. Let's start talking about outlines. An outline is just a musical phrase that helps us define a given harmony. Today we're going to work on a 2-5, so our harmony will be D minor and G7. One way of connecting through these outlines is focusing on one of the chord tones and trying to arrive in the next chord exactly in the same point. So the first one that we are going to learn is from third to third. We have D minor, so we will start on F, and we are going to achieve a B natural, the third of the G7 chord. You can phrase it here or once we have this phrase from third to third, we are going to look for it in other octaves. In this case, our 2-5 relies here, so we start from the third and we will be doing the same on the higher octave. Notice that you can, it's a good habit, if you put these outlines together with chords. Very beautiful phrases. Even here. Just a quick reminder, if you are not subscribed, please click the button and help me reach more people with my lessons and help me keep doing more videos. Thank you very much. Now let's start with the embellishments. The first possibility that we have is having a triplet here on the first group of notes, starting on F and doing this. And inside our phrase, of course, here you have to work on the articulation. When you play these phrases very slow, you hear all the notes, but if you play at regular tempo or even higher speeds, you have to hide some parts of the articulation maybe, or work out to achieve the sound that you hear when you are playing the motif in the slow motion. Now in this octave, and moving the idea here and on the higher octave. Let's explore the second possibility. Instead of applying to the first group of notes, we are going to let them and apply it to the second group of notes. So, and let's move it to the 10th fret. Take a look at how do we have to modify the position. Instead of going here, we have to move it in order to be able to play the actual embellishment. So let's try to connect those positions together. And on the higher octave, as you know, a new season is about to start, and if you want to take things further with the guitar and start learning jazz in a very different way, please contact me and let me know. You can book a lesson with me through my website, and I will be very happy to teach you whatever thing you want to focus on to expand your musicality. Thank you very much. We still have a third possibility that probably you are already figuring out, that is mixing both embellishments, and the thing will sound like this. All together. When we move the phrase to the 10th fret is when things start to look really nice, because we have to modify all our fingerings to achieve this beautiful articulation. Look how cool this thing sounds. Now you will have to figure out how to play these things in the higher octaves. Maybe here, or maybe... The final decision is up to you, but the thing, as you can see, starts with a very easy phrase, and now we have this amazing articulation and bebop phrase, so it's worth the time to explore this type of possibilities. The second outline is from 5th to 5th. Alright, so focus on the starting note and the ending note and just connect the dots. We will be doing the same from here, even here. The process is very similar to the previous one. We will be applying these embellishments in different sections of our little phrase. First of all, you have to make these notes pop. So I don't care if you play all of them attacked or if you use legato wisely. Both options are amazing, but please make these lines pop. Moving things here makes them more interesting, as you know. And with every new iteration, don't forget to relate the phrase and the articulation and everything with the 2/5, being this 2/5 or this 2/5. Let's move to the second option in this second outline. Starting from the 5th, we will have this, the first two notes without the embellishment. And here, and now let's mix together the two options. Let's put the accent on the right note. Play this phrase here, employing these fingerings, for example. And now our last outline from 9th to 9th. This is a beautiful one, very colorful. and here. Let's apply the same process. First two notes turn into a triplet with the next note. Next note in the scale. We are not dealing with chromatics here or anything related. This is all diatonic material. That's why this type of embellishment is very, very important. Here and here. Now the second option, the first two notes are free and the next two are played with the triplet. Look how cool this fingering is for doing that type of sound. Sounds very modern. You can do a lot of great things starting with these diatonic embellishments. And finally, both of them together. Up here. So as you can see, this is a very useful way of refining melodies and starting to sound like the guys you most like, probably jazz musicians if you are watching this channel. So you have to learn how to finger all these changes, and once you have it, there is another cool trick that you can apply, which is no other than keeping our descent into the next chord. So if we have 2-5 and go to 1, we can connect all the previous exercises, third to third, fifth to fifth, and moving them in this position 2 and doing from the third. And you will have a very beautiful line connecting all these possibilities from the third, in this case. And finally, don't forget to include this practice not only over a 2-5, but also just over a 2, just over a 5, just over any other diatonic chord in the C major scale. Thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, you got all the PDFs available for free on my website, so check them out. See you in the next chapter.